Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for $0 marketing strategies that keep leads coming, a Masters of Home Service live event with Hunter Patrick. My name is Erin, and I'm on the creative and content team here at Jobber. Before we get started, I just wanted to cover a few housekeeping items. First, just a reminder that today's event is live and we want to hear from you. So please share your thoughts and comments in the session chat. And you'll also see a Q&A tab. So make sure that you have any questions that you're sharing them there so we can go through them with Hunter at the end of his presentation. You can also like questions. So that kind of helps us prioritize and upvote ones that we want to get to first. And then finally, today's session is being recorded and we will be sending out the recording along with Hunter's slides post-event. You'll probably get it tomorrow morning. So let's get to it. As I mentioned, our guest today is Hunter Patrick. He is the owner of Dumpire Junk Removal, and he started his business back in 2021 with just a borrowed trailer, and since then has built a thriving junk removal and demolition brand. He has built a TikTok following of over 100,000 people and turning his day-to-day work into powerful, authentic content that connects with his audience. And now he's helping other entrepreneurs do the same through Dumpire Academics. And so with that, we are going to welcome Hunter to the stage to take it away.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Hunter Patrick. We're going to get into a little bit of who I am and what I do. But today we're going to be talking about how you can dominate your local market without spending a dime on ads, right? The goal with a service business is we don't want to spend any money on ads, especially when we're early on. And if we can add in free marketing strategies and bring in some extra cash flow, then that's what we want to do, right? So just to tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. My name is Hunter Patrick. I'm the owner and operator of Dumpire Junk Removal. I'm local in Forsyth County, Georgia. My entire goal behind starting this company originally was obviously I wanted to build a successful business, but I wanted to create an affordable junk removal service for average Americans, right? We all know that junk removal can get expensive and pricey at times, and that was the entire goal, was how could I compete in the market? I founded my company in 2021. Actually coming up on 4 years now in November. So I've been in business about three years, going on 4. Now, like I said, I want you guys to walk out with something special. I want you guys to walk out with the skill of how to market yourself and bring in and generate leads for completely free. So let's get into the agenda for the day. What are we going to cover? So first, we're going to cover the rinse and repeat strategy. Second, we're going to cover dominating local Facebook groups. This is really, really crucial. I want you guys to pay attention throughout this live because a lot of the stuff I'm going to be going over is gatekept. You're not going to hear it a lot from other service industry professionals. So I want you guys to pay attention. Number 3, we're going to go over optimizing Nextdoor and Google, right? 2 of the biggest power players in the game. Number 4, we're going to talk about building a referral engine. And of course, last, after we've gone over all the curriculum, we're going to do a Q&A where you guys can ask me any questions you have about anything that I've covered, maybe my business, how you can start, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the problem, right? Let's talk about the main problem that service businesses have. Most home service businesses are completely invisible online. Your potential customers are looking for you on Facebook, Nextdoor, and Google right now as we speak. 98% of searches, okay, come from Google. So like if they look up junk removal or landscaping or another service-based business, 98% of the people who are looking for a service start on Google. If you're not actively building your presence on these platforms, they're finding your competitors instead. Of course, we are trying to get in front of the customer first, right? First impressions are everything. If they see you first, you're more likely to get the lead than if they see you 10 down the road. Now we have a solution, right? The rinse and repeat strategy. One strategy on 3 completely different platforms. 1, Facebook groups. I'm going to go super in depth about Facebook groups because I think they're very overlooked and I think people position themselves incorrectly. So Facebook groups, engage with local community members where they already hang out, right? We all know that most of our customer bases are going to be between 35 and 65 per se. So with that being said, most of those people are going to be on Facebook rather than Instagram or TikTok. So we want to target our demographic of customers that we are trying to go after. Number two, we're going to talk about Nextdoor. We want to become the trusted neighborhood expert in your service area. Now, unlike Facebook, Nextdoor is much more tight knit. It's a lot more about your community. So we want to really hit Nextdoor when we're trying to be like tight knit around our community, right? Number three, Google Business, right? This is one of the most important ones. We want to own the map pack and collect reviews that convert. Now, let's talk about the Facebook group strategy. Like I said, I'm going to go over this pretty in depth because a lot of service guys don't understand how to advertise in Facebook groups, which is why they're not converting. So we're going to go super in depth and let's see why and how you can start advertising on Facebook for completely free. So step one is going to be find your groups, right? First, we need to go onto Facebook and I want you to search your city. So I see some people in here, you're from Utah or you're from Georgia or you're from Texas. Whatever your local city is or your local county is, we want to search that up in Facebook. Number two, whenever you search that up, you're going to join groups. You're going to select the groups up top whenever you search it. And you want to join groups with over 1,000 active members, okay? Because the more members, the more eyeballs you get in front of, the higher chances you have of actually getting that job. Number three, we want to focus on groups that allow business posts, okay? If they don't allow business posts, you're just going to get banned. It's not worth it, right? So you want to make sure you're joining groups that allow business posts. If they don't, skip over it and find the next one. And then number four, we want to aim for 10 to 15 groups in your service area. Obviously, we don't want to join groups 50 miles to 100 miles out. We want to join groups that are local to us, but we want to join 10 to 15. Step two, we want to follow the rules. Okay, this is crucial because if you go in there and you don't pay attention to the rules, you're going to get banned. And we don't want to get banned out of these groups because we could turn a lot of the people and the members inside these groups into customers. So first, you want to read each group's rules before joining or posting. A lot of them have secret keywords in them. So you want to read thoroughly through them because they might ask you for a keyword. And if you don't put it into your answers, you're going to get banned. Number two, some require ISO requests only. If you don't know what ISO is, it's in search of. So if somebody says, oh, I'm in search of a landscaper, some of them do that. And that's a whole different marketing strategy that I get into on my own personal stuff. But if they require that, then don't join the group. Number three, others allow business posts on specific days, right? So some Facebook groups only allow you to post, let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Some of them only allow you to post 1 day a week. Some of them let you post rampant. They don't care. So pay attention to what the posting schedule looks like so that you're not getting banned out of the group. Number four, of course, if you break any of these rules, like I've mentioned, you're going to get banned from the group. And we want to try and avoid that as much as possible. Step three, you need to engage before you promote. If you join in a group and you're immediately starting to promote, right, you're not building trust within the community. So you need to spend some time commenting on posts, answering questions, and providing value. When people see you're helpful and not just selling, they'll trust your recommendations when you do advertise because you're more of a part of the community. You're not just some guy trying to make a buck. You're trying to help people out and you just so happen to have a business, right? We want to attack that angle. Now, step four, we need to post strategically. We don't just need to be posting all crazy like random text and maybe a business card. We need to be very strategic with how we post. So number one, we need to share before and after photos with genuine stories. Take a picture of you, a selfie of you in front of a garage you just cleaned out and talk about how you just cleaned out Susie's garage and she can finally park her car back in her garage after 10 years of not being able to do it. Or how Jamie was sick of all the junk in her house and you finally were able to clear the space where she could move in new furniture. Whatever the case may be, make up a story or go with the story and post about it. Number two, we need to post seasonal tips relevant to your service. So how does it look on fall, right? Spring cleaning, for instance. I always do this in spring cleaning. You need to be attacking the season, right? All the time, talking about how you can help, what tips they can use during springtime, how they can remove junk, what companies to hire, so on and so forth. Number three, you need to answer ISO post immediately. Like I said, people are going to be posting in search of, right? If people post in search of, I need a junk removal company. if they're posting about like I said, if they're posting about, I need a junk removal company. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello? Video's frozen? Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. Don't you worry. How we looking, chat? Are we good? Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what that was. Just make sure we're good. Okay. All right. Back into it. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what my camera just did, but it is what it is. All right. Back into it. I think it just did the same thing. Oh, that sucks. Hold on, guys. I got it. I'm gonna fix it. Don't you worry. All right, guys, look, I'm going to fix it one last time. If the camera doesn't work this time, then we're just going to keep going, okay? Okay. If it doesn't work this time, it is what it is. I don't know what's going on with the cord. I think that's the issue. Anyway, so we want to post 2 to 3 times per week across all groups. So like I said, you want to follow the scheduling. If the group allows it, okay, then you need to be posting as many times as possible. I tell my coaching students this all the time. If you're advertising, let's say you're advertising your junk removal services and the group allows you to post 2 to 3 times per week, you need to be posting 2 to 3 times per week. If it only allows you to post once, then you need to post once. And this is why you need to write up a schedule for you to follow every single week, okay? It's very important that you do that. Sorry about the complications. Hopefully the camera is back working. Again, I don't know what's up with the cord. I haven't moved it, but anyway. So here's an example post of what you can do, right? There's scripts that you can follow. I want you to come up with as personal as a script as you can. But this is kind of a general example of what it should look like. I just helped the Johnson family on Maple Street clear out 30 years of clutter from their basement. It's always an honor to help families during transitions. If you need junk removal or estate cleanouts, we're here to help, right? This is going to drive engagement without being too salesy. Again, we want to try and be personal. We want to create a story, and we want to talk about transformation. We're not selling junk removal. We're selling the aftermath of junk removal. What happens when you hire a junk removal company? Yes, we pick up your junk, but what are we doing to free up their space, to free up their time, to take stress off their shoulders? That's what you're actually selling, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about next door domination, right? We want to set ourselves up for success. So you need to create your next door business page, okay? If you don't have a next door business page, you need to go create one. It's super easy. It'll take you 5 minutes. 2, we need to complete your profile with photos and services. So if you have photos of you in front of your truck, maybe a good picture of you, maybe a good picture of your truck being loaded, whatever the case may be, and then you want to list the services that you provide. If you do landscaping, do landscaping. If you do junk removal, add in junk removal, demolition, whatever the case may be. Any service you do, make sure to add it. Number 3, you need to verify your business address, okay? This is going to make you a legitimate business on Nextdoor, so make sure you do that step. Number 4, we need to set up your service area to reach all nearby neighborhoods. We don't want to have a super broad service area, but we don't want to have something too tight, okay? We need to have something like 20 to 30 miles, depending on your range. If you're in a more rural area, then do 40 to 50 miles, okay? And like I said, guys, any questions you have, you guys can ask them whenever we get to the Q&A section. I want to make sure I get to everybody, but let's get through this first, okay? Now, the Nextdoor triple play, okay? These are the 3 things you should absolutely be doing on Nextdoor to optimize engagement, okay? So 1, recommendations. When neighbors ask for your service, respond within 30 minutes with helpful advice first, sales pitch second. So if people are like, oh, I'm looking for a junk removal company, be like, yeah, what are you looking to get hauled off? Blah, blah, blah. Try and give them some advice on what they should do to go about hiring a company. Like, oh, if you're looking for a good junk removal company, pay attention to reviews, maybe go on Google and search one. Or, I own a junk removal company as well. You can call me if you need. That way it's not so salesy, right? We have a little bit of a personal approach to it first. Like, oh, hey, I'll scratch your back, but I also own a company if you want to hire me, right? That's a good way to do it. 2, neighbor posts. So share seasonal tips, community involvement, and behind the scenes content monthly. So let's say, like for me, for instance, I did lake cleanups for free all the time. I would share stuff like that, and then I would start posting about my business and how they can hire me. Anything like that that revolves around your business or how you're helping out the community is great to post. Review collection. So after every single job, this is super crucial, okay? After every single job, you need to ask satisfied customers to recommend you on Nextdoor. For the first year and a half of my business, all of my advertising was free, but it's not the free advertising that carried me to the next level. It was my recommendations, right? People recommending me. It was referrals. It was word of mouth. All of that's super important. So do not miss out on that. Try and get as many as humanly possible. Nextdoor best practices, okay? You want to be genuinely helpful, not salesy. Our end goal is to try and sell these people. But before we do, we need to build trust within the community. And how you go about doing that is just by being helpful, answering questions, giving people advice, whatever the case may be. We need to respond to recommendation requests within 30 minutes. So if they're like, hey, I need a junk removal company, you need to be responding to that as soon as humanly possible. Then we need to share community involvement, right? Like I told you, local events. Let's say you sponsor a local event or a restaurant or something like that, share that. If you're doing something for the community, like donating stuff to Goodwill, something as simple as that, share that to Nextdoor. Anything that you're doing other than sales, right, needs to be shared inside the community, right? Now, this is a power move, okay? Massive. You need to get 25 recommendations on Nextdoor, and you'll appear at the top of searches for your service category. So I experienced this personally. The more recommendations you have, right, which is technically just like reviews, but the more recommendations you have on Nextdoor, the higher you're going to rank, similar to how the more reviews you have on Google, the higher you're going to rank, right? So try and get 25 plus, and you'll probably be at the top of your services. Now let's talk about Google Business Profile. Everybody knows what a GMB is. Everybody knows what a Google Business Profile is. Let's talk about why it's important and how we can optimize it for sales, right? You want to complete every section. So photos, services, hours, description, so on and so forth. Anything on your Google Business Profile, this is crucial. You need to make sure it looks like your competitors. So if you're not sure how to make it look, go look at 1-800-GOT-JUNK or any other big company and see how many photos they have, what their description is, what their list of services is. List everything. Try and do as much as humanly possible on your GMB, because the more you do, the better it looks to customers, the more likely they are to hire you. We need to add high quality before and after photos weekly. So every time you do a job, right, take before and after pictures. I was really bad about this early on because I was just trying to get jobs done. But you need to try and take before and after pictures of every job and add them to your profile, because customers can see, oh, this guy did this job. He's done this one, this one. They scroll and scroll and scroll, and they just see before and afters, before and afters, before and afters. Remember, we're selling the transformation of junk removal. We're not just selling junk removal. We're selling transformation. We need to use Google Posts to share updates and offers. So if you're offering a 20% off sale this week, you need to share that on Google, because when people see your profile, if it comes up, they'll see 20% off. They're more likely to hire you, right? So we need to use Google Posts to do that. And then, of course, we need to respond to every review within 24 hours. It shows that you're an active business. It shows that you care about your customers. Make sure you're responding to every review. It's super simple. You can, have ChatGPT do it, or you can write something up yourself. It doesn't matter, but make sure you're responding. The review collection system. Okay, most businesses fail at reviews because they don't have a system. The secret? Ask in person, make it incredibly easy, and follow up with a text message that includes a direct link to your review page, right? You always want to be asking in person, hey, do you mind leaving me a Google review to really help me out? Okay, it's that simple. And then you can just have them scan a QR code on your phone that takes them straight to your Google page. You want to try and make it easy, but you also want to make sure you ask. Nobody's going to tell you no, right? If you did a good job, nobody's going to tell you no. So here's a good review script, right? you can text this to them if you end up texting it, or you can say this. I have a different way I approach it, but this is the way I would text it. We loved working with you today. Would you mind leaving us a quick review? I'll text you a link right now. Sorry, this is what I would say. We loved working with you today. Would you mind leaving us a quick review? I'll text you a link right away. It takes 30 seconds and it helps us out tremendously. It's that simple. Like, you can literally just be like, hey, I really appreciate you hiring us. If you could leave me a quick review, I'd really appreciate it. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. And then you have them scan a QR code or you text it to them. The thing is, I want you to keep in mind, most people forget if you just text it to them and leave. So try and get it on a QR code and have them do it in front of you before you get paid. That way, you're getting the review, because even though it may seem kind of like pushy or you're forcing it, you're not. Okay. And I want you to keep in mind that reviews 5x your leads. Okay. Businesses with 50 plus reviews get 5 times more leads than those with 10 organically. That's just facts. Anytime I've seen guys with 5 or 10 Google reviews, and I've seen guys with 50 to 100. Those guys are getting calls all the time. I've even experienced it. Once I hit 50, 75, 100 reviews on Google, people were calling me left and right off of Google organically, just because I was ranking high. Responding to reviews. So every response is marketing. Thank positive reviews by name. So thanks, Jessica, for your kind words, something like that. Acknowledge specifics they mentioned and invite them to call for future needs. So if let's say you did a job for them and they're like, oh, it was great. He came out the same day. You can be like, thanks, Jessica. We try and do our best to be there at the same day. We're glad you enjoyed the service. If you ever need anything in the future, give us a call. That's simple. For negative reviews, apologize publicly, take it offline and make it right. Yeah, you don't want to be arguing with people in your Google. Even if they were a terrible customer, respond to them and be like, we're so sorry for the inconvenience. We try and do our best and we appreciate your feedback, and then text them and settle it that way, whatever the case may be, right? Just make sure that you're settling it professionally online. Don't be the guy that's like being rude in your Google reviews. It's not a good look for the business. Building your referral engine. Now, this is what really carried my business. So you need to pay attention here, because referrals are one of the most powerful ways to advertise organically. And you're not even the one advertising. Your customers are doing it for you. Complementary services. So partner with businesses serving the same customers, realtors, contractors, organizers, moving companies, right? You need to be partnering with all these guys, especially moving companies, contractors, right? They're always doing renovations. You can partner with them. Realtors, because they're always selling homes, right? So you need to be around these people. The people that are directly kind of connected to your business, you need to be networking with these people. 2, past customers. Stay top of mind with seasonal check-ins and exclusive offers. So always be marketing and advertising to your old customers. You can do that. I do it through Jobber. Email marketing campaigns, SMS campaigns. Like, always be hitting these old customers, and they'll always hit you back. Make sure you're collecting their information and you're always advertising to them and always marketing to them. Not only that, but whenever you do a job, right? If you do an exceptional service, right? You're really good. They're going to recommend you to their neighbors. So that is just it's like a snowball effect, right? The more people, the more referrals, the more jobs. Community leaders. So build relationships with HOAs, property managers, and local influencers. I'm not big into the local influencers. It's a really good way to do it. Like, go talk to, if you have a couple guys with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K, 100K, 200K, offer to do them a job at a discount if they take a video of it, right? HOAs are huge. Like, I have a contract with an HOA nearby me, and we do $25 single item pickups every other week. And so they advertise it for me. All I do is come and pick it up, and you can make a lot of money doing that. So you need to make partnerships with all of these people. Creating a simple referral program. Here's how you do it, right? Offer $25 to $50 off next service for each referral. I usually do about 10%, 15%. I also do 20 to 50 bucks, depending if it's like a bigger job. Because if it's like a minimum pickup, you only give them 50 bucks off, right? But if it's a bigger job, you can. But yeah, offer $25 to $50 off next service for each referral. This is going to give them an incentive to want to refer you, right? If they're like, oh, I'll save money, or you can even do a kickback, like with realtors. I'll give you some game. With realtors, I give them a kickback instead, because realtors aren't usually the ones paying for it, right? It's the customers paying for it, but the realtor is recommending you. So you can give them a kickback for recommending you. You can do that too. Give referrers the same discount for sending business. So I'll give you an example. Ready? if the person that referred you to somebody else, right, you give them a discount on their next service, but you can give the person who received your information a discount as well, right? And so that goes both ways. They're like, oh, well, I get money off, and the person I'm recommending you to gets money off. We're both winning, so they're going to do that with all their friends, right? Now you want to make it easy, right? Customer referral cards or digital links. I use a digital business card. BLINQ is the app. It's called Blink. Go download it. It's on Google Play and iOS. You can go download it, build out your digital business card. It's super, super easy to have people refer you, have people see all your social media, your Google business profile, all that. And then you want to thank them publicly. As long as they're okay with it, you want to thank them on Facebook, Nextdoor. Hey, thanks for the referral. We really, really appreciate it. We make sure we take care of all our customers, blah, 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 right? Make sure it's okay with them first before you do. But you always want to thank them publicly if you get the chance, because people can obviously see that you care. Blink. Yeah, it's BLINQ. Now let's put it all together, okay? Here's your 90-day roadmap. All of you watching, I want you to screenshot this, write it down, screen record it, doesn't matter. This is your 90-day roadmap I want you to follow. And I'd love to see, whatever you guys performance, if you guys post it on social media, tag me or something. I'd love to see your performance in 90 days. So first, join Facebook groups and claim Nextdoor page. Second, complete Google business profile. If you don't have one done, go build it. Engage in groups. No selling yet. Just engage and be helpful. Start posting value-based content like we talked about. If you're donating things to Goodwill, if you're doing something for the community, if you gave somebody a discount, if somebody referred you, all that stuff, post it. Respond to recommendation requests. So if somebody's like, oh, I'm looking for a junk removal company, be like, I own a junk removal company, but I've heard these companies are good, or you can do this, or if you could also hire or rent a dumpster, or whatever the case may be. 6, we want to launch review collection system. Okay, that's super important. You want to be collecting as many reviews as humanly possible all of the time. Do not miss out on reviews. I made that mistake. Hit every single customer. You're not going to get a review from everyone, but try and get one from every single one. You're going to post weekly across all platforms, okay? Facebook, Nextdoor, Google, right? You can even go as far as TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Craigslist, right? All of those. Yelp, okay? You can go super, super far with this. And then, of course, last but not least, track results and double down on what works, okay? This is important. I tell my coaching students this all the time. If you're posting the same amount on Facebook and Nextdoor and Facebook is performing better, then you need to put more energy in Facebook than you are Nextdoor, but make sure you're tracking how many interactions you get, how many comments you get, and then, of course, how many leads you get from those comments, right? All right, so this is your weekly commitment. This strategy works, but it requires consistency. So I want you to block out 5 hours a week. It's not a lot of time. That's an hour a day if you do 5 days a week. So I want you to spend 2 hours on Facebook engagement, okay? Interacting with posts, answering recommendations, all that stuff. I need you to spend 2 hours on Facebook. You're building a reputation in the group. People are going to see you recommending, engaging, and then they're going to see you make a post about your business. They're going to be like, oh, I know that guy. That guy was super helpful. I'm going to hire him. Then I want you to spend an hour on Nextdoor, okay? Same stuff, right? Respond to people, be helpful, recommend stuff, and then post and sell, of course, right? 1 hour for Google updates. So spend time posting before and afters, spend time responding to reviews, spend time optimizing your profile, adding in extra services you have to. Just spend time on your Google. Try and make it look like the competitors, right? And then 1 hour for review collection and response. So getting reviews, right? Sending out text messages or talking to customers, getting reviews, and then going underneath them and responding. Results. You will get, I can't guarantee this, but I mean, this is what it usually looks like. You'll get 50 new leads per month from free channels, all organic, so you're not having to pay for them. 200 plus reviews across all platforms in 12 months. If you follow this step-by-step process, $0 spent on advertising. That's the kicker, right? All of this money is free. It's free money coming in. Okay. That's why you need to do it. And then a 10x return on your time investment, right? Obviously, time is a big investment, but you're spending no money. Spend some time and you will see the results and you will reap the rewards. Key takeaway. You got to remember, your competition is paying for ads. You're building an asset that gets stronger every single day. I know a lot of guys who are paying a shitload of money for Facebook ads, for Google ads, and they're just burning money. You're doing it all for free, and you're getting high-paying customers that are going to be reoccurring, that are going to give you reviews. And like I said, you're going to be building this. Your Google business profile, the more reviews you get, the better off you are. Your Nextdoor, the more reviews you get, the better off you are, right? So this is all super important stuff. Now, your next steps. I want you to try and do this week. If you can, try and do it today. Join 10 local Facebook groups this week, okay? Minimum 10, maximum 30. Try and be between 10 and 15. Make sure they're good Facebook groups. Don't just join, crappy Facebook groups. Claim and optimize your Google business profile. Super crucial. If you don't have one, get one. Set up your Nextdoor business page. Like I said, it takes like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 if you want to optimize it. Go do that. Go get it done. And then create your review collection script and system. Collecting reviews is huge. Okay, so don't miss out on collecting reviews. Don't think, oh, well, that's just one customer. One customer adds up to 200 very quickly, right? It all adds up over time. Don't skip out on it. If you guys want to find me, this is my business website. So it's dumphirejunk.com. You'll be able to see my business, how I operate, stuff like that. And of course, for the long-awaited question and answer. So if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat, and I am more than happy to answer them as we go.
That was really awesome, Hunter. Thank you. I love the playbook. You've kind of got your 90-day roadmap. So as we mentioned, we are going to be sharing the slides post-event. So there's no excuse not to go out there and just follow these steps and see what happens, right? So really appreciate it. We do have some time for some questions. So we'll kind of flow through some of those. There was a few that I noticed that came up in the chat of folks who are having trouble getting verified or starting their Google business profile pages. So not sure if, just off the top, if you have any tips for people if they're running into trouble with Google. I know it's come up before in previous sessions, like a physical address is very important. But if you don't have a physical address, sometimes that makes it a bit tricky. So Hunter, I'm not sure if you have any tips there for attendees.
Yeah, it's tough. I've had a lot of guys in my program have issues with it as well. The biggest issue we see is when people aren't getting verified, it's because they can't prove that they're running their business at the address they say they are. A quick way to fix that is use a family member's address till you get your own. Make sure you show there's like a video that you need approval for. You can show the street number or the mailbox number, and then you show the street that you're on, and then you can show you opening your truck. And it says like branding on your truck. You don't have to have that. You can just have a t-shirt on the truck or like business cards in the truck, right? I would just, it's pretty iffy with Google. Like sometimes they give you a straight answer. Sometimes they don't tell you, they just don't approve it. So it can be tough, but if has to do with your address, like kind of diagnose everything. If it's your address, go use a family member's address. If, I don't know, if it's because your business name isn't the same, I don't know. Like I said, it's pretty hard to diagnose, but I would just look into it as much as possible. Call Google support, have them overlook it, right? See what the issue is. And if it doesn't get verified, we've had it before. Sometimes you just got to do it one more time. Sometimes you just have to resubmit it and then they'll approve it. Cause a lot of the people who are verifying these are overseas. So they're kind of like if it's not in that order, follow the video in the order it gives you. Cause if you don't, sometimes they're like, oh, it's not right. And then they'll just not verify it.
This was a good one that came up. I'm gonna share it. If people are on community pages, should they share from their personal Facebook or their business Facebook account? What's the best approach there?
That is a fantastic question. That is an amazing question. I'm glad you asked that, Jill. So it depends on the Facebook group. Some of them require you to use a business page, a verified business page. Me personally, I like to do it on my personal account, and I found the most results on my personal account. My personal account I have like 50 friends, and my Facebook account has like 35,000 followers. You would think it's smarter to do it on my business account, but really when you're posting it personally, people know it's a person and not a business, right? You want to try and be as personal as possible in these Facebook groups, because yes, you're selling a service. We all know that, right? And yes, you're trying to sell junk removal, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to seem like the guy in the Facebook group that's friendly, and you're recommending and you're trying to help people out, but you also own a business, right? Because you're not the business. So you want to sell the business as yourself, not the business. Does that make sense? So yeah, it just depends. I'd look into the Facebook group rules. If they don't require it to be a business account, just use your personal. It performs a lot better. I've seen it with me, with the 350 people that I've coached. All of them say the personal works better. I agree. So
awesome. Okay. Here's another one, again, from the address perspective. If you're on Nextdoor, how do you verify an address when you're home based?
You just use your home address, and I'm pretty sure it'll just send you like a little card, I think, in the mail, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, you can just use your home address. I use my home address for my GMB as well. So I don't see why it would be an issue, but if I'm not mistaken, they send you like a card in the mail. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I don't know if it's changed since I did it. If you don't want to advertise your home address, is that what you're kind of asking? If you don't want it to be like your home address, like I said, I'm pretty sure you don't have to show your home address. You just have to verify to Nextdoor that you are operating your business out of where you're saying. Because like you don't have to show your address. You can turn it off on Google. So you don't have to show your address on Google. You just have to make sure that Google just needs to know that you're operating your business where you say you're operating your business.
Okay. This is an interesting one, very seasonal and timely. If someone was looking to get into holiday lighting or Christmas lighting, it'll be kind of coming up within the next couple of months. You want to start generating customers in 2 weeks. What was like maybe one or two things they can go out and do right now?
Okay. Here's what I would do. I'll tell you exactly what to do. I would, if you don't want to hire a designer or you're not a good designer yourself, go on ChatGPT and have it make you a flyer. Be very specific with your prompt. If you want a prompt that you can kind of follow, I have one in my free junk removal community. I think the link is somewhere in here, but you can follow that prompt and change it up lightly. But you go to ChatGPT, have it make you like a AI holiday light, Christmas light flyer, right? And then I want you to take that flyer and I want you to go put it everywhere you can. Obviously, you're not going to get yard signs quick enough. So I would take the flyer and even on Halloween, go knock people's doors, because it's the only day that's acceptable to knock on people's doors, and hand them out to people. In terms of advertising in Facebook groups, okay, you can do this in Facebook. I guarantee you'll get at least one job. Go on Facebook, post pictures of either houses you have done, if you've done it in the past. If you haven't done it in the past, take pictures off Google and make a post something along the lines of, if you're in Dallas, Texas, you can be like, hello, Dallas residents. My name is Jared, and I'm the owner and operator of whatever your light company is. Offer them a discount for Christmas light installation and give them an incentive. Like, be like, oh yeah, we're offering 20% off. We want to make your neighbors jealous, something along those lines, and then post it. And do that in 10 to 15 Facebook groups. You'll get jobs guaranteed within the next 2 weeks. Do that with the flyers as well. And if you can get yard signs quick enough, go get yard signs. Those are killer. But if you can't, flyers and Facebook groups, and just post some like that script in a bunch of Facebook groups, and you'll definitely get jobs, no doubt.
Great. I think we kind of hit this one already, but across social, you were saying it's kind of sometimes better to connect on your personal account, but if you're looking at the different platforms, what's your thoughts there?
Okay, so if you're not trying to sell inside of a group and you're just posting, like let's say you're posting before and afters or you're posting videos, post them on a business account. So like if you did a job and you want to post a before and after, go on your business account and post that. But if you're trying to sell, right, and you're trying to go into a Facebook group and be like, hey, my name's Hunter Patrick, I'm the owner and operator of Dumpire, right, and you're selling your junk removal service or whatever service, do it on a personal account. But if you're posting and you want engagement, do it on a business account.
Okay, this is a pretty good one for, Diane. Sounds like she's doing all the right things and things are kind of coming to a slow. A lot of competition and they're struggling to stand out. Do you have any other additional tips for standing out in highly competitive markets?
Yeah, so the first thing we need to assess is figure out what your competition is doing that you're not doing, right? We need to figure out, okay, why are we slowing down? Are we doing the same amount of volume advertising? If we're doing all the right things and we're doing the same we were before, then sometimes you need to change up your ads. Like one thing that I do every single fall, every single winter, every single spring, every single season, every single month really, is I change up my advertising and I tailor it to whatever season's going on, whatever month it is. So like I'm tailoring it to Halloween right now, then it'll turn into Thanksgiving, then it'll go to Christmas, then it'll go to New Year's, then it'll go to spring, right? So try and tailor your advertising around holidays. That's one thing. If you're not running paid ads, obviously I'd look into your ads. If you're running paid ads, we have a lot of competition in this area and are struggling to stand out. Figure out what the competitors are doing in your area. If it's like a price thing, then try and be competitive. It's a pretty hard question without knowing anything, but I would do some assessment within your business and figure out what exactly is going on. I mean, 100 5-star reviews is amazing. I mean, you have a really good foundation. Maybe you just need to reevaluate how you're branding yourself to your customers, how you're marketing, if you're doing enough volume. Like, I mean, instantly, if knowing nothing, my first thought is you need to do more volume. Like post more in Facebook groups, post more in online, showing people what you're doing. Go post more before and afters, market more, put out more door hangers, put out more yard signs, like do more volume. Because if your competition, yeah, maybe your competition is $50 cheaper than you, right? But if you get in front of more customers, you're going to win the jobs. So I would just, without knowing anything, I would do more volume. That's the first thing I would say. And then I would do some business assessment and figure out what your competitors are doing, figure out what you're doing, and try and be creative, change up your advertising a little bit and see how that goes.
Might be worth looking at some re-engagement email campaigns too of your existing base, previous customers. See if there's opportunities for reconnecting or upsell as well.
Oh yeah, definitely send out email marketing campaigns and try and turn those first-time buyers into reoccurring customers.
All right. What are your thoughts on yard signs? They good advertising technique?
I love these. So you can get A-frame signs to put out while you're on the job site. What I usually do is exactly what I do. I take a yard sign. Yes, it is effective to post a yard sign at the client's home while doing the job. And don't leave it there for a week. Leave it there for 3 days. Most HOAs don't like it more than 3 days, and then the odds of it being stolen after a couple of days are very high. So I would leave it there for 3 days every time you do a job. And if you don't just leave it in the yard either. Leave one in the yard and then leave some at the front of the neighborhood. Make sure you ask them if their HOA, like what their HOA rules are, so that you're not like getting them in trouble or you're getting in trouble. But yeah, that's a great idea. Absolutely. Put one in the yard so people know that you were in the neighborhood. Put some out front. And another good idea for all of you watching, if you're on a job site and you're finishing up a job, I want you to go knock 2 doors left and 2 doors right. Okay. If you're in a neighborhood, and I want you to be like, hey, I just finished up a plumbing job for the neighbor. If you guys ever need anything, here's my info. If it's junk removal, we'll do the same thing. Any business, like go knock a few doors down, knock a few doors up. And then after you do that, put door hangers in the entire cul-de-sac or like the next 50 homes, and then go put yard signs out front. It's the easiest way to, just like you're already here, might as well market to the neighbors. They know you've been there, and then bounce, and then do the same thing for every single job.
Awesome. So if someone's looking to transition to paid ads after looking at these organic channels, what sort of milestone or when should they start looking into paid advertising?
If you're in the junk removal space, I wouldn't touch paid ads till you're capped out on organic. And when I say capped out on organic, I mean like you literally do not have any more time or space to do any more organic advertising. You just milked it. Like most times when I take my coaching guys, when I take them to paid ads, is like $10,000 to $15,000 a month. So once you hit 10 to 15,000, then I would go into paid ads because you can afford it, right? So yeah, I would make sure you're capped out on organic. You're hitting every platform possible, every method possible, and then make sure you're making enough money to fund it. So like 10, 15, maybe 20K a month.
This is a really great one if you've got a field team. Any tips for getting their help in collecting reviews and with social content creation?
Incentive. Every single review you get, I'll give you an extra $5. If you want them to help out with content creation, you know, another incentive. Like every job you do, if you guys get a review from the customer, okay, I'll give you an extra $10. And it's like if they do 6 jobs a day, they're gonna make an extra $60. Like that's money. That's amazing. Yeah, it might hurt your profit margins a little bit, but at the end of the day, think about what you're doing growing that Google profile. So yeah, I would give them some degree of an incentive, especially with content. Be like, yo, just help me out, make this video, and every time you guys help me a video, I'll throw you $20, right? Like I would just give them some degree of an incentive to make them feel like they're actually getting something out of it.
Good stuff. Are you using UTM parameters to track performance across channels? And then do you have any positive experience with Yelp or Angie?
So the way I track my performance, I do it manually through Google. So I just use Google Sheets. Like I just have a spreadsheet and I track everything that way. Angie, if I'll tell you my experience with Angie, I'm not gonna try and say nothing bad, but I do not like Angie at all. Every single person that I know that's used Angie does not like it. Everybody has the same opinion on it. Yelp, I have pretty good experience with Yelp. Yelp's a great platform. I would definitely get on Yelp. Make sure you're on Yelp. It's very similar to Google kind of, but yeah, don't steer away from Yelp. People are a little more harsh on Yelp, but it's a great platform. Angie, not so much in my opinion. Now, you're more than welcome to explore Angie. I don't want to tell you what to do, but in my personal experience, I just don't like it.
Do you have any objection handling response to they think your service is too expensive?
It depends on if it's over text or over the phone. Those are two different ways to handle it. If it's over text and they're like, oh, you know, I found this guy that'll do it for 125, but you bid 250. Hey, look, we can come out today and do it for 200. You know, if you really want that job, you can be like, oh, I'd come out and do it for 200, but we can't match that price. It's impossible. And if they don't understand that, they're not your customer. Like you have to understand there are people that are okay with paying $5,000 for junk removal, and then there are people that aren't okay with paying $20 for junk removal. So you just have to find the right customers. Some people are just gonna compare you to cheaper prices. That's just life. Like if you go online and you want to buy a laptop and it's $300 cheaper here, you're gonna buy it there. The biggest thing is selling them before they get the option, right? Which is why it's like responding to leads within, if you get a lead on Yelp or Facebook or something, respond to them immediately because you don't want them shopping around. Give them a fair price. They're like, oh, this is great. They understand that you're a trustworthy company. They're going to hire you, right? So it's all about how you position yourself as the expert in the industry. But also some people just aren't your customers, and that's just okay, you know?
Agree. When it comes to next door advertising, Michael says it's kind of difficult to join neighborhoods that maybe aren't close to your physical address. Not sure if you have any tips there.
Yeah, I mean, I would just join the ones that you can join, and if you want to do, like, you can do some pretty light paid next door advertising. It's like $5-10 a day. Same thing you would do on like a really small Facebook ad. So you can do that. If there's not like many neighborhoods close to you, then Nextdoor is just not your platform. Go on Facebook. In fact, Facebook's going to be much more effective for you because you can get in groups that are like county based or city based. I would just focus on Facebook more than Nextdoor if you're not close to neighborhoods. But yeah, I mean, if you still want to stay on Nextdoor and you're not close to anybody, I would just do a little bit of paid advertising.
Okay, this was a pre-submitted question. If people are cutting back, economic times are a little bit dodgy. How do you kind of overcome that? Where can you still find people to get your services?
Well, so it's really all value based. Like I understand that things are people, things can be tough for people financially. But the biggest thing is how urgent is it for them, right? If people don't have the money, if their tire pops, but they don't have the money to fix it, well, they don't have a choice, right? They have to fix their tire or they can't drive. You kind of have to position your business as the same thing. Like you have to try and, if you're on the phone with these people and they're like, oh, well, I just can't really do it right now, then you have to go into sales mode and you have to be like, look, like I understand. But I know you talked about wanting your garage space back. You got family coming over in a couple of days for Thanksgiving. We can literally grab it right now and go, and I'll give you $50 off, right? So it's again, it all has to do with your customer. Some people are not your customer, some people are. If you're struggling to get customers because of the economy, try and do a marketing campaign of like, I know the economy's hard, we're doing 25% off for everybody in the county, and you can kind of swing that way and try and be more price friendly with people who may not be prepared to spend the money. You can market yourself as if you're helping them save money, if that makes sense. Like hopefully that makes sense, but that's kind of the best way I could put it, in my opinion. Is like, if people aren't prepared to pay for it, it's tough to sell them, because if they don't think it's an urgent matter, then you're not going to sell them anyway, right?
Yeah. I'm going to combine this. There was another question too. Alternatives to Angie. Someone also was asking, similar to Angie, do you have thoughts on Thumbtack?
Thumbtack, Networks, both great platforms. Networks is significantly more affordable because Networks, it's NETWORX. So instead of like KS, it's X. With Networks, you pay $19 to $21 per lead. That's flat. So like if it's a 4 load or if it's a single item pickup, you pay the same. Thumbtack, you pay per load, or you pay, like, you set your rate. So if it's like a quarter load, half load, 3/4 load, full load, or it's like 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 truck, 4 truck, you're going to pay different amounts for those leads. It's just one of the things I don't like about Thumbtack, because I've had people select 4 loads and it be like a piano. And it's like, well, that's not 4 loads, right? But both great platforms. Those are 2 fantastic alternatives to Angie. Repeat the name. It's Networks. NETWORX. Networks. And then there's Thumbtack.
All right, here's a fun one for you. You've got a huge social following. Do you manage your own social media, or do you have some help? And how often are you posting?
I have a team that handles the back end systems, like to run the coaching program. Like obviously I do all of it, but in terms of posting and editing videos, that's all me. That is all me. I spend a lot of time every week recording, posting, editing, responding to comments, whatever the case may be. I try and post between 3 and 5 times a week, sometimes 7 if I have enough videos, but I can't record everybody. If you guys have seen my content, you see like I'm recording people sometimes in their houses. Some people don't want to be recorded, so I don't record every job, right? Because people don't want to be on video, which is perfectly fine. But no, I didn't contract it out. It's literally all me. So, because I love doing it. I don't want anybody to touch it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, awesome. Here's an interesting one. When you quote a job, so you get the lead and you get no response, how long do you wait to follow up?
So if I quote, this has happened to me a few times, and I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Whenever I quote a job, let's say they're like, hey, how much would that cost? I'm like, okay, it'd be about $400. And then they just go ghost mode. I don't know why people do that. Like they could just say, no, that's too much, but they don't. I usually try and follow up the next morning. So like if we talked Thursday evening at 5 o'clock, I follow up with them at 9 a.m. I usually do like a 12-hour follow-up, a 24-hour follow-up, a 48-hour follow-up, and then a 72-hour follow-up. And if you can't close them within all those follow-ups, it's just not worth it. Throw them into your CRM, like throw them in a Jobber super quick, and then email blast them later down the road.
Yeah. And then if you are using Jobber, you can automate those quote follow-ups as well. So you can
you can automate follow-ups. Yes.
Do that. Yeah. Alrighty. When you're creating content, video versus static posts, thoughts?
Videos have significantly higher engagement because you get put on on a feed. It's really hard to get static posts to be put on a feed. Like it has to get a lot of engagement for it to get like momentum. So I video 1,000. I would do video. I would just, even if you got to put images in a compilation to make a video, videos are much better. I would just do video.
Nice.
If you're trying to
Okay,
grow,
cool.
like if you already have a following, you can post pictures, but video is much better.
Okay, we have just a couple more minutes, so probably just a couple more questions we can squeak in here. In the meantime, we are going to throw up a survey. So if you want to take a couple minutes to post what you like, what you want to hear more of, it kind of helps us plan our future events. So you can go ahead and respond to that. So yeah, let's get to our last couple of questions before we close out. This one's a follow-up to video. What kind of video is the most successful?
Social interaction. I think I talked with a lot of people about this last week. Ever since COVID, people haven't really seen a lot of people. Like there wasn't a lot of people out, and then now it's like people don't want to talk to each other. Everybody's kind of to themselves. Social interaction gets so many views, like talking to somebody. So if you have, your guy that works with you and you want him to record a video of you talking to the customer, and then something comes up, or small things like a customer being like, this is terrible, clip that, put it in the first 5 seconds, viral video, easy money. So yeah, the social interaction is amazing. So any video that has where you're talking to somebody or there's something crazy happened, that's going to be your most successful videos.
Awesome. Okay, that is about time. Hunter, do you have any parting words of advice for our group before we log off here today?
One, sorry for my camera messing up. I didn't know why that happened. Two, if you're trying to build a business, okay, and you're not sure how to market, you're not getting any jobs, you're not sure why nothing's working, just do free marketing. And when it doesn't work the first week, okay, keep going. I tell my coaching guys this all the time. Their first week, they're like, well, the marketing's not working. I'm like, give it another week. They give it another week, they get 4, 5, 6 leads, right? It's compounding. Everything you do right now is going to compound 6 months down the road, a year down the road, a year and a half down the road. I have posts from 3 years ago that people still call me from. Just keep posting, just keep going, keep doing it. If you guys want to start a junk removal company, or you've already started a junk removal company and you want to get more leads, you're not sure how, I have a free junk removal community that you guys can join. I'm not sure where the link is, it's somewhere. Or you guys can just go on my Instagram, and the link's in my bio. You guys can join there. My Instagram's Hunter Patrick Dumpire. Other than that, I appreciate all of you guys for joining. It was a great time. Hopefully you guys will be successful, and I'll see you guys inside the community.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.